Hello, everyone. Looks like they shut down my show and they deleted the picture I had of Alex Jones. Oh, how dare they? I guess you'll just collect back, check on in, come a few of you. I do apologize. It is so interesting. They shut that show down. They listen. Can't stop, won't stop. They try to shut the show down. They didn't like the blackface picture I had with Alex Jones on there. Oh, oh, they deleted the whole live, everything. No, clearly I am in the righteous mode. Whenever they do something like that, it details whatever I'm doing is doing right. So we're actually gonna get into conversation. I'll wait until look, and even now, I see that you're all on here, but it's saying there's only one person in the room. It won't even acknowledge all the people stepping in the room. That's so interesting. Can't stop, won't stop. I was gonna groove to some more music. They messed up my music groove. You know, we were doing shout outs and what have you. Don't worry. They can't stop the truth from coming out. You know, they might have X made um, Alex Jones off, but I'm just saying. I'm working with the Andromedan energy. We got a little back leg working with us. Okay, so check on in. This is Aquarius Rising Ninth Gate. For those of you who do not know where you are, my live feed from before, even the reading is off. It's interesting. Oh, interesting. Yes, even the reading's off on my page. So check on in, and we're going to hop into the discussion. This is our Thursday night show. I decided to do it live on YouTube to give a treat to our famille who never gets a chance. So what up? What up? What's good? So we did our shout outs, peace to the east, the west, and the north and south, like I always do. So let's get into conversation because I had a picture, a thumbnail of Alex Jones in blackface. And to be honest, the reason why he was kicked off is because he was treated, no, let's keep it real. He was treated like a Negro, like a brown person. Alex Jones got a taste of what brown whistleblowers and native indigenous people who try to tell the truth. This is what happens. My show gets shut down all the time. I get kicked off. I've gotten kicked off of Facebook and YouTube so many times, but he's been on YouTube for at least over 10 years now. Well, no, not 10 years. Oh, like 8 to 10 years. Yeah. 8 to 10 years. He's been on YouTube for 8 to 10 years, being a provocateur of negativity and separatism and talking about he's part of the national movement. And I personally know now that they just deleted that he didn't get kicked off. That's part of the inciting of these nationalist males that are now in Portland right now, and all these racially, because I don't believe in races, I believe in different complexions and speciesism. But all these nationalist lunar males that right now are out there, the ones who call themselves the Klan and the Nazis and what have you, I purposefully think that this is part of the false flagging. I actually think him being deleted now that they deleted my little pro quo, because you know I'm right on point. Whenever they delete something that I do, I know I'm on point. That's how they're not very smart, because whenever they delete something I do, it lets me know that I'm onto something. So perhaps Alex Jones was not kicked off. He was removed by his own way, maybe purposefully done, to incite lunar males, all these nationalists, all these closeted, complexionism type of groups to come out of the closet and start building together so they can all be seen. So maybe that's not what it was. That was a plan. That's like a planted seed. He didn't really get deleted. He was purposefully done to incite a type of populace right now, because Portland's getting it. And now there was some issues. Where was that other place? I forgot what the other place was. Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me? Just give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me? Okay, I just want to make sure because I saw. Okay, okay. Thank you. And what's interesting on this live feed, there's a lot of people on this live feed, but on the top of the screen it says only 7 people are in here. So if you don't think that they mess with Flurbrun's page, if you think that it's all in my head, look at what they did. They shot down my show. They removed my songs and everything, my shout outs and everything. I don't really get into conversation, but they removed my black face of Alex Jones. And why would they remove it if they're against him? If they kicked him off for being a provocateur, they wouldn't care if I talked about it. He talks about the presidents. He talks about Obama like a dog. He talked about all these other people. He was never removed. His show was never interrupted. Why would they interrupt mine and delete mine if they're so in opposition of Alex Jones? If InfoWars is really an enemy to YouTube and all the people who supposedly deleted them, why would they remove something of me kind of like poking fun at him right now while he's out of all social media networks? You know why? Because it's not true. It's not true. Now we know. Now we know. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for once again actually giving us a piece of the puzzle. We didn't even know this. I didn't even know this until you removed my show. And now I know you're in bed with Alex Jones. That's BS. You didn't remove him. This is purposefully being done to incite a race war. This is why we have to be careful what we listen to and how we get provoked. Because all these nationalists, all these underground, racially motivated, quote unquote, I don't believe in racists, like I said, all these dastardly these underground groups, these Nazi groups, these men, because they're part of the old Stoic patriarchy. I understand why they're upset. They should be, because they're about to be burnt off the planet if they don't get their consciousness right. And if you're out there talking about white nationality as if that's a race, just like black nationality, you will not be here, okay? Because there's no such thing. There's different complexions. We're all one earthling, you know my whole antage. But this is BS. Alex Jones, you're a joke. You were a comedian before. We know about your previous clone or whatever you were, or you replaced yourself. I don't know what you did. But now I know, since they deleted my show, that you're planning all this to start incite a race war. I hope none of you fall into this, because it makes no sense. It does not. Do not follow a man that incites war every day. That man's whole platform was based on separatism. Its whole platform was based on madness and inciting people in fear and getting them all riled up to fight who? So who are you fighting? Yourself? Because the only enemy is you, right? Right? So all these people going out here, yeah, they're race baiting. Thank you, no one. Thank you, YouTube, for doing what you did. Because now we see you. We see you, Lionsgate, fire in the yard, smoke them out. Smoke them out, family. They're inciting people. Doesn't matter because I'm back on. What? Anyway, I can be antagonistic, yes. Big up to my Sun Star, who told me that one of the psychics said I like to provoke. I could be a little antagonistic. Yes, I can, because I'm fire. Anyway, let's start our show. So anyway, I had a blackface, and you notice I didn't quote unquote it. I mean blackface. I had a blackface of Alex Jones, who was seemingly, now we know it's BS, seemingly removed for being blackballed for probably, supposedly for, really speaking hate speech. Apparently the families from Sandy Hook felt like he was talking about the deaths of their family as if it didn't happen, yada, yada, yada. I did know that he did apologize. Now, he did say some things about Sandy Hook, but he was not the only one. Let's just state that. There was a lot of people who seem to know that Sandy Hook was a hoax. Now, remember, even if it's a false flag, people can die in false flags. But he was one of them who stated that it was a false flag. And also he did apologize, which had never, and I do agree with him. I'm not an Alex Jones fan, but I have to speak truth when the truth is there. He did say sorry for saying that. And he said he did not mean to insult any families who did lose their family members. So that being said, why would all of a sudden he's been blackballed off? He's off YouTube. He's off Spotify. He's off everything. They basically took all his platforms, all social media, and X made him off. Now, that's a big decision. Now, but what's interesting as it happened, now it's all relative because no one's a victim, right? No one's a victim here. Okay, remember that. We are all running our own program, whether you're human or not. You're running your own program, so you already have your pre-programmed, interactive hologram that you're going to do while you're here in this incarnated avatar. Okay, we all do it. So no one's a victim. So this being said, is that we broke the patriarchal code after the lunar eclipse. Then all of a sudden, bam, 8-8 comes, which was right after that was a portal, the beginning as aspects of the portal, the Lionsgate portal, which it's going to be a partial solar eclipse on 8/11. Big up to the eclipse last year that put fire in me. The reason why the conference happened is because of that portal opening last year, that solar eclipse, which put fire in my belly and basically allowed for the prospect of a conference coming online. Oh, for anyone who wants to see the conference, Ty Productions, who did my video for the conference, he is done. So my conference, if you want to see the conference, you can go to Patreon and register to Patreon. You will be able to see the conference within the next 2 to 3 days. And I'll have a clip for you guys to see of the conference that I'll put on YouTube, so you can see little bits and pieces, a little bit of the conference, so you get a chance to see, and then you'll see next year will be projected. Next year I'm going to do another conference, and it will be even more masterful, more intel, and awesome. So you will have a chance to see the actual, but you do have to go to Patreon. Remember, that is a video that is a paid for video that you will see on Patreon only. Okay, that's not for me, but you will see little bits and pieces of it on YouTube because I did make a clip. Okay, I'm always fair and balanced. And okay, so listen. So now we have Alex Jones, who was X-made after the patriarchal code was broken. Okay, so it was broken on the lunar eclipse. We felt it. I've talked about it. I felt like cutting off heads. I literally felt like I woke up on my original planet and was like, oh my gosh, where am I? And who are these diabolical creatures ruining my mother? So when I did that, I woke up. I was cutting heads left and right. I did it prior to the lunar eclipse. So it looks like the lunar eclipse broke the patriarchal code. So whatever tyranny or whatever suppressive programming they had us under is now it's broken. It's decoded. It's gone. And what you're starting to see now, and reminiscent of that being true, is all these couples that were longtime couples are breaking up. And it's usually women breaking up with men that were abusive, heinous, suppressive, neglectful, just non-present, whatever. They're all separating. It just, 15 years, 20 years, I've heard it all. Right after this happened and previous to this happened, friendships were breaking up that weren't conducive anymore, and it had to do with that patriarchal code. If there was any suppression of the feminine, you were going to see a huge release. Okay, so I see I'm getting a delay already. Never mind. Big up to Alex Jones, remember he faked his own death before, so now he faked his own death on YouTube. We see you, Alex. Don't play games. You can't hide from the Earthlings. You can't try to get over on an Earthling that's awake. Okay, so don't play games, Alex. We see what you're doing, boo. You stop inciting people, and don't try to provocateur people to start fighting each other based on complexions. Get a life. Have some good masterful sex. Go exercise. Do a green smoothie every day. You might come back to life. Maybe your clone will come and resurface. Maybe the original form of you will come back. I'm just saying, Alex, stop playing. Don't play with me, Alex. We know what you're doing now. Let me stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm having a good time. I'm just saying. Anyway, so we broke the imperial patriarchal code. That happened. And now we're going back to a form of a cycle that was originally matriarchal based, meaning that it's not suppressive. It was just based in the more divine, where we were sitting in more of a holistic, more balanced position with all beings on the earth. Okay, because the fact of the matter is, the reason why the matriarch fell is because it became too stoic. It was very similar to the patriarchy, not exactly the same way, but it had a lot of that in it. Okay, so because of that, everything is relative. Nobody's a victim. So whatever you do comes back to you. So it's always a valuable position to sit where you only engage in matters or observe things or do things that you are okay seeing, viewing, and having done back to you. I've learned that as a woman of a certain age, and I've learned that my deeds, even my words, my thoughts, come back. And they come back beautiful and they come back tragic. You know, it happens every time. And if you live in cohesion and balanced, you won't get such strong ebbs and flows right and left. It's almost like, remember, everybody was going into, what was it, the Atkins diet, where you just eat meat and you lose weight. Remember that? The Atkins diet. Everybody was on the Atkins diet. Like, some of you are younger, maybe you don't remember this, but remember Atkins diet, everybody was eating meat to lose weight, eat a whole bunch of protein, right? Okay. So what happened now? So what happened to the pendulum? We went so far right that we ended up going too far left. So that wasn't healthy, to eat all meat. And you know how many people had heart attacks and got sick? Yeah, they had high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Okay, so they went too far right. So what happened? When you take a pendulum and you go too far one side, what's going to happen? It's going to drop and go too far to the other side. So now what do we have? All we have now is people who are vegans, right? Eating seeds all day, right? Eating seeds, eating greens, eating only vegetables. And some of those people are losing their minds because it's not healthy for them either. Okay, so they went too far left. So we went too far right and too far left. The natural balance of your body is somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. Okay, so remember, I come from that life. I could speak on veganism, vegetarianism. I'm not a newbie who just was about this life. I've been in part of the vegan vegetarian community for over 20 years. I'm not a new one who starts attacking meat eaters after eating vegetables for 6 months. Some of the vegan Nazis are out of control. Yes, some of you are on here, vegan Nazis. You're out of control, going trolling on people's channels, looking at meat, talking about them all dastardly. You need to stop, because I know vegans who have died from being vegans and living a lifestyle that wasn't healthy for them. Okay, and I know meat eaters who have died for living a lifestyle and not eating what's proper for them. So stop it. It's somewhere in the middle. Okay, eat cohesively, eat with compassion. Make sure that if you are engaging in fleshes, that you honor the life that has been taken to be able to nourish yourself or your family. And same likewise with the veggies. Make sure that you honor that life also. Not all veggies are the same. If you're picking a plant and taking it from its root, you're murdering that plant. Okay, I am an agriculturalist, so I feel the sentient feelings of the plants as well. So taking from their leaves or taking the fruit from a plant is different than killing it. Okay, so somewhere in between. Okay, gratitude, thank you. Gratitude is utmost, just, because you're taking in that life and you're also taking in some of that energy and that frequency. Okay, so let's get into the planetary things going on. By the way, if you're calling tonight, make sure you call in 515-605-9881. 515-605-9881. Make sure if you're calling in tonight, you can. Brazil is in the house. What up, Brazil? Representing. You can call. Make sure you call in before that. I'll give you the countdown because we have a bonus hour after I'm on for a while. So that way you can stay in the queue. And if you have a question, you push 1, and then I'll get to you. Okay. So, is there any such thing as eating for your blood type? Yes and no. Depending on their blood types. Remember, there could be a blood type. You could be a blood type O positive that lives somewhere in, Greenland, and you could be O positive living somewhere in Tanzania or in Tanzania. Okay, so it's different based on genetics. You can have the same. Generally, you are family. Any blood type, any positive roots, O's are all the OGs are related in that way. But you will have separate ways of needing and needing to eat based on regional and genetics. regional areas that you were reared in, ancestor wise, how many generations, and also, you know, some of the basic genetics. Okay, so it's a combination of two. It's not just one. We got to stop compartmentalizing things. It's not never just one thing, especially in genetics and heredity. When you look in genetics and heredity, it's a combination. It's a combination platter. Okay, so you know, O positive. Like if I'm an O positive, brown copper, I'm copper skinned. You know, indigenous. Then I have a Nordic who's O positive. We're cousins. Okay, we are cousins. We're family. We can field back together and make the same being. Okay, we will have little opposition in genetically mixing with one another because we are one earthling. We've been genetically modified and homogenized over time. That is not a natural. The lighter skins and the darker skins are not because of evolution. Okay, no, that is because and how I can get past your theory and evolution of lighter and darker because of colder regions and so on is that the Eskimos have copper skin and they've lived for heightened hundreds of years in cold regions. And in parts of Asia, far parts of Asia near Siberia, the borders of Siberia, those people had copper dark skin and they were living in very cold regions. So the fact of the matter is there is no such thing as evolution of complexion. That is homogenizing. There were galactic beings that came here and messed with the natural genomes of the people here. And what they did is they genetically homogenized people based on whatever desire they had for a certain behavioral propensity. Because once you strip, anybody who works in the laboratory, you know this. I don't want to get into this too deep because, you know, this is something that's genetically based. But anybody who works in the laboratory knows that there's why would they want to work with white rats and white mice with pink eyes, okay? Or light eyes. Because how you get those mice is you strip their melanin. You take generations and you do it in a process and you strip their melanin because you can't incept in the cell if it has melanin. The coating of melanin protects the cell. It protects the dexterity of the genetics of the animal if it has a lot of coating of melanin on the cells. So in order to do certain experiments and work on certain things and test animals, they have to strip the animal of its melanin on the cells so they can manipulate it. Okay, so it's the same with humans. Okay, they manipulated the genomes of the natural copper people on the planet, and they made different versions of them. Some have more light eyes, some have lighter skin, some have darker hair, darker eyes. That's manipulation. Okay, that's not evolution. That is exactly manipulation. Okay, that's why if we were different beings, we could not have children with one another. If we were different species, we would not be able to have children. That's when you start getting into different races like O negative and O positive. When you have those combinations, then you start getting issues because some of those are not the same species. So they require some inception, some interception in order to allow certain gene pools to mix together cohesively without killing it. If a O negative woman has an O positive in her womb, she will kill that baby most likely. Okay, it's not all the time, but it's most likely. So I'm just saying, people are homogenized. There's only one earthling on this planet that's a natural earthling, but there's different versions of that earthling, lighter and darker. Okay, that's one earthling, one. So I don't want to get into complexionism because that's what Alex Jones' platform is based on. When they start basing things on racism, there's no such thing as different. There's no such thing as different races. You are not a different race because you're a different complexion. Like I said, if you were, you could not have sex and create children. If that was the case, there's no such thing as different races. There are different complexions of people, and there has been homogenizing or a hybriding or a genetically modified version of humans each generation. And they do it with your vaccinations now. They do it with your food, your GMO foods now. They do it with a host of things with you now. So that's all it is. Okay, so get off this high horse of racism, and there's no such thing. It's one earthling on one planet. If we start taking on that and start knowing that someone who looks a little lighter or darker than you is your cousin, as long as you're humans. I don't know that all of you are humans, though. Let me stop. I don't know if you saw the movie Extinction. Some of you, remember I told you to watch the movie Extinction? I don't know that all of you are human. Some of you don't even know that you're not human. Watch Extinction. It will flip you out because they didn't even know what they were. Let me stop. Okay. Take a breath. The Lionsgate family, big up to all the Leos in the house. Fire in the yard. You Leos, you got me on fire. You know what it's like when you merge fire signs together? It's just fires burning. That's why all these things are burning all over the planet. The planet is hot. Get used to this heat. Get used to it. Make right with heat. I told you, first we had to make right with water. We did. Remember all those hurricanes, all the water, the flooding? Okay. Now I'm telling you got to make right with fire. Fire. Okay. Make right with fire. You notice least amount of clothing. Listen, I am advocating lack of clothing. Clothing is an abomination that came with colonization of the planet. There was no problems. Colonization brought an ideology that this was heathenistic, being naturally in your skin, which is naturally made to live out in the elements. All the animals have their natural thing. They're born with fur, if necessary. Some of them are born without. You know why they're born that way? Because that's what nature allows for them. It allows for that. Some beings came to this planet and to some of your countries and told you you were a heathen for being naked. But those are the same ones who like to rape, pillage, and murder people for just tying their shoelaces wrong. I'm just saying, we're living on a mad world. Come on now. Listen, you're naked now. Be free, especially sea stars. Free yourself from the tyranny. We broke the code, a patriarchal code, and I don't think the males will mind our lack of clothing. They will actually probably behave themselves more if they see more of us. And I'm really tired of all these things saying all these women are naked or half naked. That's the way we were. You're born naked and you will leave this planet naked when you leave in transition. Be good with yourself and get off these body images of you are who you're meant to be. You are perfect, whoever you are, man, female, in between. You are right the way you are. Be free. I think all these idiosyncrasies about clothing and covering up or not covering up, that all comes from a sense of not having self-awareness and being foreign to the human form. Listen, being foreign to the human form. Some beings are not human, so this does not make them feel comfortable. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm sorry. If you get arrested for being naked, please don't blame me. Please don't tell them it was the woman on YouTube who told you to go out and be. Who told you to go out. Oh, Scotland's in the house. Hey, bro. I was telling you the story about Scotland. A tall Scottish man. He made me watch Highlander. Remember, my mate is Jamaican. He's part Scottish. Remember, the Jamaica was also interacting with like pirates that were Scottish. So the Jamaicans have the gene pool of the Scottish. That's why their hands are kind of stout. The Scottish men have very thick hands, short, stout hands, and big kind of burly shoulders. They're very stocky. And that comes from mixing with the indigenous, carry the Arawaks there, and also the Africanos that were also, some of the Africanos were there, more so East Africans, and the mixture of the Scottish. But a Scottish man tried to accost me, and I just told him I'm already taken by some lineage of Scottish man anyway. Big up to Kirk. They're handsome. You Scottish lineage, you're very handsome, you know. But I have a Jamaican Scottish bloodline that's copper skin, indigenous. He is my cup of tea. I like men who look very similar to myself. You know, that's all it is. Anyway, I'm going off part. So, listen, family, the Lion Gate is 811. Who's calling me? Oh my God. Okay, 811 is the Lion's Gate. It is the partial solar eclipse. Okay. You dating a Jamaican? Don't get me started. Yeah, I need to stay. I gotta stay on topic, because some of you get upset when I go off topic. I will go all kinds of sidebar. You already know. See, they're talking about the Scottish men anyway right now. So okay. So yes, the Lion's Gate is officially, and it's the new moon on 8/11. Okay, and it is a partial solar eclipse now. If many of you remember this time of year, you'll know what you're going to go through. Now, I had a phenomenal solar eclipse last year. You know, when they told us not to get these glasses, I had bought the glasses. I was all in solar eclipse mode. They said you couldn't look at it. I looked at it straight. I loved it. I felt the energy. The solar eclipse, some people had an adverse reaction to the solar eclipse last year. So, what I'll say to you, make sure that you, excuse me, make sure that whatever you went through last year, just kind of remember what you were doing around this time of the solar eclipse and see what energies or how you felt and how that was doing. Were you purging? Were you pulling in energy? Were you manifesting? Or were you ricocheting upward in frequency? Remember that time that you went through that. It's very important because that's going to be part of it. It's not such a strong solar eclipse this time, but it's still the energies and all coming along with the new moon. Make sure you're manifesting those things you desire. You should be able to manifest things instantaneously with this new moon. So make sure you masterfully, thoughts are things. Delbert Blair taught me well. Make sure you mind your thoughts. Make sure even thoughts that you think are encouraging, make sure you keep out. And I've told you this even when I do Kiki sessions with you. Keep the negations out of your verbiage. I'm mastered verbal cues and on seeing the idiosyncrasies with the language based on speaking another language. So I see it a little differently. But be mindful to keep negations out of your words. So if you say something you quote unquote don't want to do, say what you want to do as opposed to opposition, because the universe doesn't recognize the don'ts or no's, okay, or the nots. It doesn't recognize negations. It just knows the action, the word that is that's a reverberation of whatever is desired or non-desired. Okay, so make sure you're mindful of that. Okay, so be sure to keep your mind clear. The patriarchal code is broken, so females, please don't be abusive to your male counterparts. Because I had a moment and had to pull back because I was in warrior rest mode. I was like, I remembered being on the planet as a female member. Females on the planet originally were brown copper females. They were very dark at one point too, very, very tall, and they were hermaphroditic. Now, all females are hermaphrodites. Now, listen to me. Do not call me saying I'm saying anything crazy. All females are hermaphroditic. Okay, what do I mean by that? They both have a little wand, a tiny wand, which is degenerative right now, and also they have a portal, a vortex, a stargate between their legs. Okay, so they're both. Okay, they're hermaphroditic. We were on our main form before we fell, before they towed that artificial satellite called the moon, before they came, towed that moon here. We were holistic and we were able to give birth and actually replicate ourselves through the process of parthenogenesis. Okay, we're unable. Some of the females are starting to do it now because we're going back into that cycle. So there are a couple cases now where women are actually replicating themselves. And if you don't think this is the truth, start studying some of the. I'm a geneticist and I'm based in heredity. You can see that this is the truth. It's nothing I could possibly make up, nor would I want to. You know what I mean? So you can look that up. Also, watch a movie called No Men Allowed. It's men, I wouldn't watch it because it's not very empowering you, but it gives actually men. I think if you're mature enough and you're holistic enough and you're comfortable in yourself, your own self, I would say watch a movie called No Men Allowed. It's on Redbox had it. It was weird. I saw it one time and it shows that all of a sudden one day on the planet, boys stop getting born and women start giving birth, like getting pregnant out of the blue without sex. And then it becomes a process where no men are born anymore. So the last man standing, they send them to a little place to retire by themselves because they feel useful. It's, and then, you actually can have a man in your house, like you pay for a man to be in your house to actually, like a relic. It's a very interesting movie and it's not a disrespectful movie. I just think if you want to know what parthenogenesis is, watch that movie. Okay, it talks about that. I personally enjoy men. I think you're beautiful and masterful. I have appreciation for divine men. I enjoy the company of a man. Obviously, I am in love with a man. Big up to Kirk. Many of you met him at the conference. You see why I adore him. So I am in alignment. When I speak of this, many people ask my sexuality, asking them if I'm a lesbian or heterosexual, and I tell them, I don't take any title. Why would I'm naturally going to mate with whomever I'm meant to mate with. I don't have to take on a title of heterosexual. Where'd that come from? I just know that I have a yoni and he has a wand. And those two things come together. And if we decide to have children, or we can, we'll just create children from that. I don't ask, I don't label myself some crazy, all this label, that's a colonize, all the colonizers, you know what the colonizers do of this planet? Colonizers go to other planets or other countries, and they start judging and re-identifying things, or calling it things and giving it labels. That's, like, just like the borders in Mexico and California. There were no borders there. The Mexicans and the native indigenous people on the lands of Texas, Arizona, and California, those are all the same people. But then the colonizers come to the States, and then they come here illegally. They don't have paperwork. Their families didn't have to go and stand online or pay $400 to sponsor people to come here, or have to have jobs paying. Okay, I'm just saying. So those colonizers who came here, calling themselves pilgrims, came here, and then they re-identified everything and put in borders. Native Americans never had borders. They didn't even have a concept of buying land. There was no land. They didn't even think you could own land, because you can't own land. Only a being that is not natural, indigenous to the local areas, can do something like that. It's abusive and it's disgusting. So they re-identify things that don't exist. There's no such thing as borders, geographical borders. Those are created by people who want to be protected from the same crimes that they do to other people, so they don't want it to happen to them. That's all it is. Don't start none, won't be none. That's why America is going through its own, craziness. Because they've done so much, there was so much things that were done heinously. Those things are, so that's why the Alex Jones of this world are going to have the reversal. That's why I put him in a black face, to show that now he's treated like a Negro. Alex Jones might as well be a brown man now, because he's being treated like such. Because you cannot go around doing things nasty and think there's not a consequence. And you best believe, if you don't get it, your children and your offspring will. I'm a little hostile, but I'm really just hot. I'm just saying, there's no borders. I'm sick of people talking about Mexicans go back. Who are you? If you are not copper skin and look like the Incan and the Mayans, like the Mexicans, you need to keep your mouth shut. And you need to go back to whatever region your ancestors illegally came from, if you feel like they're illegals. Fire in the yard. Don't call nothing if you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sick of people coming from other regions who are not originally from here, calling other people that were cousins and people. Listen, my people were in the Americas. I look the same as my indigenous people. I am of the Taino, the Carib, and the Arawak. My people migrated all amongst the Americas in North, Central, and South America. I look today as my ancestors looked thousands of years ago. I am still reminiscent now. I have mixtures in me, which I accept and I love and I adore. I appreciate it. Remember, I have, what is it? It's a lineage from the Netherlands, which I found out genetically, which is beautiful. And I accept that I mix with these wonderful Scandinavian. I found out I'm 30% Scandinavian, the rest of me is indigenous. But I'm not mad at it. I appreciate my Scandinavian background. I appreciate that my family, I thought it was French, French as far as genetically the European version of French, but apparently they were just Nordics that were from Scandinavia that just moved somewhere and spoke the language. That's it. I'm not mad at that though, but I appreciate my indigenous qualities. I still have over 50% of the indigenous here. My ancestors resided here. They were here. So I think it's disrespectful to go around telling Mexicans to go back to where they come from, or saying they're illegal aliens, especially if you look nothing like the indigenous here. I think you should shut your mouth and not say a word. Don't judge them. You may think it in your head, but keep that to yourself. That's all. It's disrespectful and you look like a fool, especially right now when we're going into a different cycle. Don't do it, because you embarrass yourself. And I'm tired of people calling themselves owl, snake, and so on. If you do not look like me, you don't have enough quantified indigenous to speak on the indigenous. So you need to keep in your place and not say anything unless it's something respectful or genetically, there's some credibility to the things you say. I'm all for censuses and studies and what have you. I'm okay with that. But don't go around talking nasty about people that you have no idea that were originally from here. So that's what I'm saying. Alex Jones and all these provocateurs, like, why are you doing that? I'm not going to Scotland. Big up to Scotland. I have a thing. Big up to Kirk. There's something going on there. Remember, I have a thing for Islandmen because I'm an Islander. But I'm saying I'm not going to Scotland, going there, jumping with a whole bunch of copper people like myself, and going over there and be like, listen, this is my land over here. This is yours. I'm gonna give you 12 beans for it, and it'll be fair. Okay, you go live over there. I'll give you some sugar, some distilled sugar, and some rum, because they like rum, and you're good, right? For 20 generations. Okay, I'm not doing that. Okay, so it's disrespectful. I don't want to get mad or hostile. You know, sometimes they say, "Oh, Flubber, you get a little hostile." No, I just think it's disrespectful. Like, don't just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. That's it. You know, if you don't like Mexicans, you don't like their behavior, then that's something different. Yeah, maybe you don't like the language of Spanish. Remember, Spanish is not their indigenous language. Their language was taken away by colonizers who beat them and killed their ancestors if they didn't speak the language. So please, for everyone living in the West Coast, please, at least don't come to me and talk about Mexicans or keep the illegal aliens out of here, because the illegal aliens are running this country. And not all of them are illegal aliens from Europe. A lot of them are from other galaxies. The true colonizers are not even human. And y'all can't even handle that. That's what I'm saying. We're one species on one planet. You can't even handle the fact that the majority of colonizers are non-humans. They're draconians, they're insectilians, they're other beings that colonize this planet. That's why some of the people here are mimicking some of the patterns of the masters of these deities that came here and ruled, and they started to mimic the same type of domineering behavior. Okay, so we don't want to go into that, because we can't even handle different complexions. If you can't handle sitting in a room with someone of a different complexion, you got problems. You have sociological problems, and you probably have been genetically modified. Okay, because I can sit anywhere. I'm appreciative of anybody. If I sit in a room with a beautiful Nordic woman, and she's gorgeous, she's got beautiful clear skin, blonde hair, and flowing, she's sweet as stitches, she's conscious, she's wonderful, she loves mother. That's my sister. That's my homegirl. Me and her are going right together. You know why? Because she's of the same frequency. That's my tribe. I respect her. I honor that frequency, and I resonate with it. So she's my homegirl. Now, same with a chocolate sister sitting down next to me, looking all beautiful and cosmic with her fro coming to the sun, getting those cosmic energies in her coils, you know, bringing that down to her yoni space, bringing all that masterful pheromonic harmonics of the nigga. If she sits with me and she's cohesive with me, she's all about the planet, she's all about family, she's here to be a steward of Mother Earth, she's balanced, that's my homegirl. I don't care what she looks like. I don't care if she looks just like me or different than me. This is where y'all have to get a grip on yourselves, because we've all been programmed to hate one another. We've been programmed to see differences as enemies to the state. So some of you have been reared hearing the word nigga, nigga, nigga in your house so many times that when you see a brown person, that's the first thing that pops in your head. And I don't disagree. I just think you mispronounce. I think it's ignorant. You should say nigga, nigga, nigga. I'm cool with that. See, some of you are just ignorant to certain things. You haven't been exposed. Some of you have been not exposed to lunars, white people. So when you see them, you think they're the enemy. You think they're going to lynch you. You think they automatically trying to come get you. And that's not the case. So we need to get over these basic idiosyncrasies. They're deep and seated, purposeful ways to create coups within us. And what it is to do is to divide us so that we can never collectively get together to make it to the next frequency, the next, quantum leap. That's all that is. I'm not saying there's no problems. I'm not saying all non-brown people are nice to all brown people. That's not true. And I'm not saying all brown people are nice to all white people. That's not true. Okay? There are those issues that come up personally because of the way we're reared or what have you. But if you're going to stay stuck on that separatism, that kind of victim mentality, then they're just as bad as the deities or those fake gods, those demigods that put that frequency that put that manipulation and that genetic barcode on you that created it. That's all. Get over it. That's why I can sit here. Listen, I say to you, I can look at a beautiful lunar male and say he's handsome. That Scottish man was handsome as all heaven. My gosh, he looked like a god. But it doesn't, but I don't have to want to mate with him to appreciate his beauty. Okay, so, but I don't have to hate him either because he's not looking the same as me. So, you know, we got to be a little more balanced. I'm not trying to be a preacher or trying to tell you right, but I'm just saying if we want to be in this galactic, I'm trying to be down with the galactic field. I want to be a part of the higher frequencies and the beings who are traveling to different galaxies. I want to be one of those, or my daughters or my grandchildren. I want them to be in those Star Trek ships, traveling to other places, seeing other beings and accepting who and what they are without hate, without judgment, but acknowledging and respecting it. I want that. I'm going there. That's where I'm going, and that's where I'm bringing my offspring. And I accept that in all forms. So we need to get over that. That's why the Alex Jones, him getting kicked off is perfect because it was part of breaking the patriarchal code. But just know that there's always an underhanded thing too that they try to do. So it's almost like martyring him so that you create more coups. Because now you martyr him, and now all this underground lunar male frequency of ones who feel like their nationality is being attacked, now they feel like one of their own has been, you know, pretty much beheaded. And now they're going to be coming for blood. You know what I mean? And you can't get mad at them because they're being provoked. It's just like brown people seeing public executions of their brown people on television daily. Every time they see a brown little boy getting shot in the street, a brown man getting shot, what do you think that does? It incites them. It's a form of mind control that will make them see the opposition in the other race. So it's purposefully done. So just, if you don't want to be manipulated, don't fall for the okie doke. Just television is a tell-lie vision. It's a tell a lie in your vision. That's all it is. It was created by the Nazis in the Nazi system to utilize it for forms of mind control. That's a fact. Television and radio was used for major provocateuring of whatever ideology they were trying to do. Okay, so let me get off my high horse tonight. Fire in the yard. Floor room is on fire. Let's get to the phone calls, okay? It's open mic tonight. Talk about whatever you like. You know, if you got beef with Fleur Broom, bring it. If you want to discuss Alex Jones, remember he was a comedian in his previous life before he reenacted himself as a new person. If you want to talk about Trump, we get into Trump. You want to talk about sex? You know, I'm all good with sex. You want to talk about your nudity and how you feel really free right now that you never want to put on clothes again? I understand. So let's get in conversation tonight. Okay, so I'm going to check the phone lines. You know the number is 515-605-9881. We'll go into Lionsgate a little bit more. We'll talk about the energies and manifestation, whatever you want to discuss. I mean, I'm coming on YouTube tonight for y'all. This is for y'all. I know I haven't come to you. I'm usually on Patreon and Cypher. I felt like I was being a little exclusive. I decided to come and share the show with you, as you've always been very supportive of me. So right back at you. Okay, so you want to press 1. If you have a question, let me get this together. I'm getting my speaker on. Maybe make sure that when you call in, you leave your questions to 5 minutes so that we allow for others to call in as well. Thank you, Jennifer, beautiful Jennifer Styles. Jennifer, you should be a model. See, why do we have models like you, Jennifer? You know, beautiful and natural beauty. Okay, okay, so here we go. I'm going to take my first, let me make sure I have everything. Okay, I'm good. I think I'm good. Look, I'm getting all svelte in here. It's hot. Okay, let's get our first caller. We're going to go to 707-7886. Peace, family. Peace, you're on the line with Fleur Broom.
Hi, Fleur.
Peace.
Hi, Fleur. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. This is Mimi.
Hi, Mimi. Hi.
And I've been listening. Hi, Fleur. You know, I am so shy. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I didn't have anyone else to ask but you.
Please.
this
Mm.
question that I have.
Yes.
Okay, so I hear voices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell if it is telepathy or if it's me hearing into people's spirit or their soul. I'm not sure, but it's been going on for for maybe over 20 years.
Okay.
And I'm starting to get verification that I might really be hearing things from people,
Okay.
but I'm not sure. Can you enlighten me?
Okay. Now, how you know where it's coming from, the source is what you want to know first, right? The source. You want to kind of know if it's a source
Yes.
that's them or you. Now, usually before someone gets telepathy, they get a feeling like a twitch, or it's something that happens. Like if an ET comes near me, my right eye tears. It happens every time if someone's not human. There's always like a preamp to an ability. It's almost like like before people get seizures, they always say they smell something or they see something before a seizure comes. Is there something tangible that you see, smell, or feel previous to you getting that communication or telecommunication? Anything that's uniformed. When I say uniformed, it's like always something like you see red, or you think of the number, think of red, or all of a sudden your toes get hot. It's always something. So try to pinpoint. Do you ever get something that's weird that accompanies this ability?
There's nothing that I can think of, and it's like I'm having a conversation. It's like it'll come through like so clear. Like for instance, I had someone leave my house the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and they said something, but they were in their car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I heard it loud and clear, but there was nothing that came before that. It just
It
the
just comes.
voices or the phrases always like just come in like I'm having a conversation.
Okay.
I really don't know how to describe it.
No, I agree with
There's
you.
a phrase.
You know what? Because you've been having it so many years, you probably solidified that ability. Sometimes what happens is that it's almost like eating or drinking or something that you naturally always do. You don't even have that natural preamp. You're not getting that. You're just going in. Um, Now, when you get
Yeah,
this, when you
I
get the
think so.
when you get the telethought, do you get it? Do you get it with your eyes open, or do you hear it in your ears? Do you hear it as far as symbols or thoughts that pop in your head, as in the communication? Is it like it comes in your ear, or does it come in your head?
I can actually say that I get it both ways,
Oh,
but the way that I'm talking like right now is like it will just it's like I'm hit. Like I used to say to my son all the time, I say to him, "What you say?" And
Hmm.
he would be like, "Mom, I didn't say anything."
okay.
And now, you know, now moving forward, he told me that, most times, that was what he was thinking. But like it would just, come to me, or sometimes it would be like, I have like a vision of something, like I'll see something,
Okay.
and then I'll be like, nah, and then it'll wind up happening.
Okay. What I'm going to have you do, because this is you want more definitive answers as far as how it's coming or if it's really true. I need you to get something that you have, like beads or bracelets, something. I know even the Spaniards wear like these round bracelets. I need you to get like a bracelet, like your favorite color, something light, nothing really sparkly, nothing that you can't wear with everything, something neutral. And I need you to train yourself that every time you get a telethought, you touch these beads and you rub them with your two fingers, like your thumb and your fourth. What is that? The main finger after your thumb. Rub the beads on that arm and rub it. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to train you. It's going to train you to every time you get the thought, you'll have this action that you do. So it will allow you to focus a little more. And when you begin to focus by touching something, because touch has a way, the sensation of touching or tasting has a way of making you focus, especially if you're going into the etherics or into spiritual. A lot of times people who hear spirits, they need something, they need to hear something or click something or choose something or touch something. It allows them to focus. What that focus will do is will allow you to know if the telecommunication is coming from you or from the other. Because just like a telephone, I could call you, like you called me, but I picked up. What if I called you? You want to know who's calling who. Is that what you want to know?
Well, I always thought it was something calling me, not like, me calling them.
That
I never
you might
calling me. It's just always been like hearing.
Well, give yourself more credit and give yourself more credence and power. You might be going into their heads like some of the super soldiers do. You might be going into people's heads and not even realizing it's you doing it, not them. Because most people won't have that ability. It's you with the ability, not them. Most likely.
Crazy. That's like.
I'm sorry. Am I scaring you? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well,
I just like.
Yeah.
That, Yeah.
Don't make the assumption.
Yeah. Thanks for.
Why I say that is because I want you to become more empowered that it's you who has the ability. And because you've had it for such a long period of time, I know it's most likely you going in their head. And that's actually, remember, the government uses people like that when they sit outside people's houses. They do that to reporters and stuff. They used to have people who could get into people's minds. There's a movie like that too. They'd sit outside their house and they would get in people's minds and could read their thoughts, and actually they could change their thoughts. You probably have that ability and you don't realize. You probably make people change their mind all the time and don't even realize it. Do you get that a lot? Like people are like, I never thought about that. Yeah, I want to do that. I know you do.
Oh, man, Fleur.
I know.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot to take in. I wasn't expecting all of that.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't do this publicly.
Yeah, I kind of do get that a lot.
I know.
But yeah. I just thought it's something outside of me.
No.
Just like my guardian.
No, honey. Give
like
yourself.
That.
No, baby. It's you, and you should own that. That's a beautiful ability. Why not own that? That's you. That's all you. That's just you. Okay. And I want you.
Sometimes it's hard because you hear everything. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes, but you have to, if you want to mute it a little bit, that's why I want you to train yourself by getting something that will help you focus. Because then you'll be able to just not get the ability doing what it's doing, like automated. It's like on automatic. It'll automatically do it. You're automatically doing this. I want you to be more mindful of when you're doing it or when it's happening. So by having something tangible, it doesn't have to be a bracelet. It could be a necklace. It's something that you're going to put in your hand. It's something either feeling or taste wise. I don't want to do taste because you may not be able to do that all the time. Put something in your mouth. I don't want to do that. And I don't want to train you to have needs to put things in your mouth to kind of ground that energy or feel it out. I want you to get something that's like a piece of earth on your arm, whether it's like a bracelet, crystal bracelet, something very light, nothing too off like you can wear every day and you can replace with reasonably. I want you to train yourself because it's you doing it. That's what I think. You have this ability that you've actually mastered without even knowing it. You actually have a co-pilot in your abilities that's doing it naturally. And you have this candid ability to be able to change people's minds. I want you to master this. I want you to take ownership of it. And the more that you acknowledge that it's you and not something outside of you, then you will start to be able to harness the ability, and then you'll have more answers. You'll have more tangible answers as far as how it shows up, how you're utilizing it, what it does, and you can start to experiment a little bit. Don't mess with people's minds too much because there is a karmic debt to that, but do it within the realms of doing it to someone loved one with them knowing. Always ask permission to go in someone's head.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
Tell me how it goes.
Thank you, Fleur.
I'm excited.
I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Take care. Peace.
I will. I'll be in touch. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay. So just, when your abilities come on, we all should take and notice now that the veil is pretty much open. There's no more veil. There's no see-through veil as the veil is open. Many of your abilities have come online. We talked about this years ago. This wonderful sea star, She had this ability. It's her doing it. But we've been conditioned to not owning things that are beautiful and masterful because we think everything magical is outside of ourselves. That blame religion on that. Religion did a wonderful job in messing with your minds, making you think that everything wonderful and magical and miracle was outside of yourself. Only Jesus Christ can do that. Okay? Only angels do that. Only guides do that. No, you are the guides. You are the angels. You are the ones who have those abilities. Take that ownership and start owning that, because then your abilities will become more manifested in a more tangible, a feasible, more workable way. Okay? So, all right, let's go to our next caller. 631-2196. You're on the line with Fleur Bruin. Peace, family. Peace. 631-2196. Hello. Hello.
Peace. Hello.
Peace.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, C-Star, yes.
Peace.
Peace. What's good? Who's this?
High vibration.
High vibration?
I wanted to. Yes, I said high vibration.
Ah, peace. Yes.
I'm just saying. I wanted to talk about this thing that I had experienced a long time ago, but now I'm experiencing now as a young adult.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when all the lights are closed, I see like these little sparkles. But then just the other day, I was watching a video, and they were saying how, like, we're in the Matrix, and in the Matrix, we're in a box called a terrasat.
Mm-hmm.
The terrasat, I think it's called. And through that, when people can see us, there are like little numbers that people can see.
The binary codes.
Someone,
Yeah, the binary codes.
But I just wanted to.
Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to know if, like, I'm seeing that or if I'm seeing, like, little sparkles. Because now it just, like, if it's, like, pitch dark, I just see, like, these little sparkles. And I don't know what they are or where they're coming from.
Is it like the television? Remember, I don't know what age you are. Is it like the television when you used to turn the television off back in the days and it had, like, that white ash-looking sparkly thing? Remember white noise? Like the ash?
It kind of looks like that. Yeah, it kind of looks like that, but they're like red. And
they're red?
They're red, and like when I was young, they're red. But when I was younger, I used to see them in different colors. I used to see them in like red, green, yellow, and all these colors. And now I just see them in red. That's it. Okay. And I don't know what that means.
When did you start seeing it red? Just recently?
Yeah, and I also had like a very horrible nightmare, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it too.
Are you
like I saw
No, go ahead. Tell me what you saw. I'm sorry.
I saw the little girl, the honey boo boo girl, that little girl. I don't know why she was in my dream, but I saw her. But she had the reptile eyes. She had those eyes. She had the eyes, and she was like terrifying everyone in the dream. So I don't know why they're coming with red, because when I was younger, like right now, I can see them. I'm in the dark now, but I don't know what it means.
Are you I'm gonna ask you.
Is it all in my head?
Well, no, you're seeing it. Don't give yourself credit and credence. I'm gonna ask you a question now. Nobody knows who you are, so don't worry about the question. Are you sick? Is anybody that you know sick? Do you have some sort of, are you not well? Like sick, like physically, is something wrong? You went to the doctor?
I know that I'm anemic.
Okay.
And just recently, my sister, she was sick. She got diagnosed with mouth, head, and foot disease, but we just cured it. I think she's cured. I'm not really sure, but she was like really sick just a few days ago.
Does she live near you? Does she live with you or near you?
That was my date. She's right. She's with me now. She's actually trying to get off.
Why I asked that? Hey sis. Why I ask that is generally when you say the color, I think about things that I have to feel together, and I personally know that sometimes people see sicknesses in others, or they see sicknesses in their field. Remember, dis-ease shows up visually to very sensitive people. Smells, usually you can smell sickness on someone. You can also see it. That's why I asked if somebody's sick or you're sick. Okay. I would check to make sure that everybody.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, my partner has a different blood type than me, so I don't know if that could also be a reason too. I'm not sure.
Different roots is negative,
I don't think.
Wait, negative or positive? Negative. They're negative or just B's, A's. Which one are you talking about? Are you saying? Are these? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Are you a positive and he's a negative, or they're a negative and you a positive? Is something like that?
No, he's a B. I think he's a B positive or just a regular B, and then I am a O.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't break up with him, please. I don't want to. Don't break up with him over this conversation, please. Just use your discernment. That's what I want to say first. You know my answer on that, and you already know what I'll say to that. I don't know that that's why you're seeing the red. I don't think that's associated with that. No, but remember, you as being an OG, any subsidiary blood type B, AB will feed off of you. It'll deplete you. He'll be fed. You'll be depleted. I suggest to everyone not to really, especially OGs, have to be more careful because they get fed off of, because they're the heirlooms. They're the ones that most other blood types, the subsidiaries will. They're not purposefully doing it. He's not doing it purposefully. It's what he does. It's an antigen. So I just say be mindful of that. And if you have sex together, I would be cautioned with having his semen inside of you. Okay. I don't want to be. I'm not gonna be crass, and we're adults here. So just be careful with that. Okay, because it'll break down your immune system after a while. Okay. If you're gonna do anything, I would just suggest you not having do that inside of you. You can do other things, but I would say, if you love them, you guys are good. Just know that that's something you should be mindful of. Okay. And other than that,
right.
I say this. I personally think something. You were seeing it from little, so I know you're seeing different colors. I think you're a healer. Healers have these uncanny. Shamans know things like this. Shamans also have some of these abilities from youth. You're seeing energy, and you're seeing sicknesses and auric colors on people based on their biology. I personally think that's what you're seeing. So when something is sick around you, you're going to see it in a color that means sickness or ailment to you. This is what I'm feeling, and that's what I think you're seeing. I think you're seeing the codes of disease around you, or it may not always be bad. You may be seeing the codes of someone's healthy biology, like calmness, or you may see you're a healer. You're like one of those innate energetic healers. I would get into Reiki, cranial sacral, start doing Qi Chong to try to harness your own energetic field and work with that. You just sound like one of those people that's hypersensitive to the biological field of people around you. And I think that you're seeing sickness now. That's all I think you're seeing.
But it has to be like pitch black, and that's when I see it.
That may be your catalyst to be able to initiate that type of sight. That's all it is. I would don't take me as fact. What I would do is see if I'm right. So what I would do is next time you see a different color, find out what's going on around you and see if it matches the color spectrum that you're seeing. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Try
Well,
that.
thank you, Susan. I
Oh,
hope you have a good night.
same to you. Peace, Sea Star. Tell your sister I said peace.
Oh, yes, I will tell her.
All
Thank you.
right.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, the next caller, 903-1174. You're on the line with Florida on Peace Family. Oh. 903-1174. You're on the line with Florida on Peace.
Yes, Wade, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, peace. Hey, Wade 13. What's good?
I'm alright. I was just listening. Very interesting. I caught the last minute of the show because I was off. I was off for like an hour. I think I missed the first hour.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't worry. They try to shut it down. They shut down the first show, but we're back. We're back.
Yeah. I wanted to address about the heating of the planet.
Yes. Sure.
I think I went over this in a show we did a while back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go into a little detail. A while back I mentioned about the core of the Earth heating up. Well, that's confirmation. Everything you're seeing with the fires and global, heating, all the continents are heating up. That's part of it. What I was talking about.
Nice.
So as we go into this higher energy, it's a hyperdimensional energy. Everything, both atomic and subatomic, the particles are speeding up, and the spin rate is getting faster. So that's that feeling of time speeding up. That's what that is. So as we move into this hyperdimensional energy, everything is heating up because the vibration is getting higher as we move into this hyperdimensional space.
Yes.
So Mother Earth's core is actually reacting to that, and she's actually imploding and expanding at the same time. So that's the reason for the heat.
And also that's why you're getting all these fissures, the ground opening up, because heat expands. Just like when you're trying to open up a bottle, you put it under hot water, it expands.
Yeah, that's what's going on in Kilauea. That's why you have all the earthquakes going off. That's why the weather is getting hotter and hotter. Even in Alaska, they're recording high temperatures like they haven't seen before.
Well, they're saying that all the
Greece is having all those fires in Greece with a heat wave. North Korea again. I've seen that on the news today.
Well, that's all the
and the U.S. is being baked right now.
Oh wait, say that again.
I'm sorry.
Say that again.
Now, so the U.S. is being baked right now too.
Yes.
As you guys could tell.
Hot.
And all the fires.
Hot. We got to get right with heat. Water were we good with? Now we got to get right with heat.
Yep.
And the next one will be air. Gotta hold on. Oh, the air sign should be okay. I mean, I think it's a process. And how do you feel that the majority of people are being able to handle it? Because it's a form of disinfection too. Because not everyone will be able to handle those energies.
Well, because we're connected to the Earth.
Some.
We're a fractal of the Earth.
Some.
The heat is. Well, yeah. Well, it's going to affect everybody though, whether you're connected or not, because the ones that are artificial, they're going spazzing out right now.
Oh, I noticed that.
The mainstream news.
Yes.
They're basically androids, really. They're artificial intelligence. Some of those people. Some are reptiles, but they're being cloaked in holographic technology.
Yeah.
But if you look at the media right now, everybody's going crazy. Even the Democrats and all the political systems are just going haywire.
But they can't.
That's the cause of that energy of
But they can't hide it either.
Energy is rising.
Yes, but they can't hide the eyes anymore. They can't cloak anymore either. A lot of them are having problems cloaking. That's why they're wearing sunglasses and they're not coming out the same way.
Well, that's part of what's going to happen. As this energy rises from the core of Mother Earth, it's imploding everything. And a while back, I mentioned this on the show we did. As this energy rises up, and it's rising up through the natives, we are the natives, the true ones that were here before on Mother Earth, and we helped co-created this. As this energy rises, we're becoming more awakened, so we'll be able to we'll see them for who they are.
Exactly.
But as this energy rises, those that don't belong here will no longer be able to handle the energy. They'll perish. And they've been warned to leave, and they don't want to leave, so.
Well, they're stomping, they're stomping their feet and stomping like little children, naughty little children.
Especially, the political structures and the societal systems, they're all crumbling. You see the craziness that's going on.
Well, you see it on all levels because
they're being shown for who they are.
Yeah, you see it on all levels because what I noticed is that even when I was out today, I saw like just people unraveling. Like literally, I told my little people, I said, okay, people are unraveling. You're seeing it happen like back to back to back. It's time to go in the house. Don't stay out and watch them unravel. They're unraveling because the energies are really shifting and they're unable to handle it. So all of whatever is going on, even in the demonics, some people have archonic forces and demonics on them. They can't hide it. Oh. They shut down the show. See, I got Wade 13 on. You see, they shut down the show. I got to call them back. That's crazy. Interesting. What is this, the second time? But Alex Jones could stay on for like 20 years. I don't feel bad for you, Alex Jones. You were on for 20 years. They shut down my show over nothing. Over just a conversation.
Welcome to Blog Talk.
I can hear you.
Please enter your host.
I can hear you.
Press the pound key.
My little ones.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press.
It appears that the host has already dialed into the show. Only one host is allowed per show. Thank you for using
Did you hear that?
Talk Radio.
They said a host is dialed into my show. Did you hear what it just said? It said a host is dialed into my show. I can't dial in my own show because the host is in there. Go for it. Listen, family. When you think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, did you just hear that?
Blog Talk
I'm
Radio.
the only host.
Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
Wow. Let's see what it says.
I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number.
Do you hear this? Welcome to Flurburns World. Welcome. To Alex Jones.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
It hung up on me. Salusa, they got kicked off. Hold on. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm still call it. Listen, I'm a triple fire sign.
Blog Talk Radio.
Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
Let's try this again.
I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number.
This is crazy. You heard all my numbers, right?
Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
It just hung up. You gotta laugh. Listen, I have to laugh at things like this. Listen, and I love.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio.
I'm gonna try again.
Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
The PIN you entered does not match the PIN you have on file for your account. Please re-enter your PIN. To start your show now, press 1. To hear
It appears that the host has already dialed into this show. Only one host is allowed per show. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Somebody's in my show. Does anyone hear anything on Blog Talk? Because they're saying somebody's in my show. This is crazy. Wow, I can hear you. I'm gonna try one more time, family, and then I'm gonna have to go local calls because this is ridiculous. This is welcome to the insanity of the Matrix. Yeah, somebody's in the show. Can somebody hear somebody hear something?
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
Wait, you hear me on Blog Talk? Someone said they heard me on Blog Talk. Wait, 13, you gotta wait.
I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number.
I don't want to shut the show down because if I shut the show down, it'll shut down the whole Blog Talk. Did they say you're... Now, is someone saying they hear me talking? Can someone tell me, can anyone hear if someone hears me talking on Blog Talk? Can you tell me? Is someone on Blog Talk? Someone said F Blog Talk. This is what I want to say to Blog Talk. Wait, you said you can hear me? You can hear me on Blog Talk? How is that possible? Okay, so I can hear you. Okay, not on Blog Talk. Okay, hold on. I'm going to call one more time. Can't stop, won't stop. This is crazy.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important...
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we're reconnecting you now.
Finally, yes, find the yard. I'm back. I'm back, Blog Talk. Bastards. I'm persistent. One thing you will say with me, you can never question that I'm not persistent. I am persistent. All right, so Wade 13, if you're calling back in, call back in. What's your number, Wade 13? I don't even want to leave this. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see your number again. Okay, well, I don't know where you are, Wade 13. I'm going to go back to the next caller. I'm not going to really mess with this too much. Listen, this is why I'm saying, family, they shut my show down for conversations. But you telling me that you think that Alex Jones was legitimate and he was on for 20 years and they just shut him down? No, that's some BS. That's a lie. Because they wouldn't have kept him up if he was legitimate. Okay? All right. I'm going to go to the next caller. 317-3070. You're on the line with Fleur Broom. Peace, family. Peace. 317.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Peace, C-Star. I can hear you.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can. Are you there? Oh, she just got kicked off. They're just kicking people off the call. I'm sorry, C-Star. That wasn't me. I'm going to go to next caller. Wow. Blog Talk, you're very nice. 704-4770. 704-4770. What's good? What up, C-Star?
Hello.
Hey,
How you
C-Star.
doing?
I'm doing well. Who's this?
This is Aisha. What's up?
Hey, Aisha.
Aisha calling out of North Carolina.
I know. How you doing? North Kakalaki representing.
Hey.
How's it going?
You hear me good?
I hear you well.
It's going all right. Okay, I'm out here in the truck, y'all. Y'all forgive me if it gets a little loud.
That's okay. That's okay. Do what you do.
I just be pressing one because, looks like you like to pull my number. I'm like, yeah. The only thing I can think of to talk about right now is what has recently happened. It seems like it's always people who are molested in some kind of way coming into my life. And I think we talked about that when we were talking about that big Hollywood thing where you had a conversation about that some months ago. Mm-hmm. Where Hollywood was getting pulled on the carpet for all the people who had sexual stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You remember? Okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I wanted to mention today, maybe you can help, like, what am I supposed to do? I always try to be helpful to people people keep coming in my life where that's something that they don't. Like, if I get real close with them, they've been molested or something, raped, something. So the girl who moved in next door to me, I thought I heard her daughter screaming for somebody bothering her in the night because the walls were super thin. And I was a little bit chiefed up, so I was extra sensitive. Mm-hmm. So my mind started going everywhere. And then I was like, Aisha, you bugging. Just bring the energy of peace. I find out the next couple of days that, in fact, the child had been molested by the ex-husband. I don't know if that was her father or what. So I'm wondering, what am I supposed to do with this energy? If they're gay and they have been raped, and I get talkative with them, they will tell me their story, most of them. Mm-hmm. Some of them don't. But it's always people who have been raped, molested. They almost go-to people. They like the close people in my life. Mm-hmm. What does that even mean?
That's an aspect that you're not resolved with you, because that's you've somebody in your life, or you yourself, or mom or dad, you've been exposed to people who've been damaged, abused, and you're carrying
the whole family has been damaged. Yeah,
and you're carrying the frequency. It's just like
all my close family members. Yeah, everybody.
You're carrying the frequency on you, so you're
including myself.
Yeah, you're attracting that aspect that has to be healed in you, and then you'll stop attracting it. You have to stop for a minute, kind of put a strong arm out on everyone, and resolve, because there could be some trauma. Even though you're acknowledging some trauma, has layers. It has layers. And acknowledging aspects of one might allow for an unraveling of something that you don't even know is there, because that's why you're getting these damaged people to resolve aspects of self that you've not acknowledged or healed. Okay, so if you haven't healed it in self,
I don't deal with it though. Like, yeah, I have dealt with it in life, and there's been conversations. We've even had, like, all of us who had things go on. We talk about it with each other, so nobody's walking around damaged. And so that we could deal with our children properly, so that it doesn't repeat. Mm-hmm. It has repeated in some instances, but I have dealt with it, and I did deal with, where it was coming from, conversed about it, apologies and stuff. It's just, I don't really have an issue I still kind of feel like the person themselves is just like kind of an asshole, so I already didn't like them. Mm-hmm. Then that part on top of it is like, oh, well, I forget that part, because I ain't trying to think of nobody to nothing, because, it's been resolved and everything. But it had gone on. Everybody in the immediate family, like under the grandmother's all her children and stuff, they all got a story. You got to
heal the family bloodline. That's the contract. Remember, Rizing brought the contract. I don't think you remember. Kind of email me so I can send you a contract. You got to break a contract. You got some sort of code, and you got some sort of trauma code in your bloodline that has to be healed. Once one heals it, you'll trickle
90 seconds.
Hold on 1 second, sister. I'm sorry. For anyone calling in, you have just
All right.
90 seconds to call in. You call 5159 5159 51 I can't remember the number. 515-605-9881. If you want to call in now. You have less than 60 seconds now to call in and press the number 1. So make sure 515-605-9881. Call in. Okay. I'm sorry, C-Star. This
60 seconds.
I know you need the contract. You've got to break this contract of, it's ancestral curses. What happens sometimes is when there's trauma in the bloodline, it perforates the entire bloodline. It dirties up the blood seed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so trauma in the womb of one woman can mess with the 4 generations of women ahead. It usually goes along the matriarchal line.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do, email me, and I'll send you the code that Rizing sent us. He almost got killed to send this contract, and we all did it. The contract works. It's a contract breaker. It works. You need to heal some aspects that might be in the bloodline. Also, you have to resolve, because like I said, there's a layering effect of trauma.
10 seconds.
For every, I'll say it like this, and it's the only way that I can kind of say it in a way that we all get it. Like if you see one bug standing on the floor like a roach, whatever, you see one, right? You're like, okay, I'll deal with that one.
You got a million.
Yeah, exactly. 1 or 2 out there means there's a 50 million behind the wall. That's the same with trauma.
All right.
You see one thing and acknowledge it, and yeah, you may have healed it, but there's a layering effect. What led to the exposure to that abuse? What neglect came with parental guidance that wasn't there that led you to feel that way to allow for someone to accept? You know what I mean? It's a layering effect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like an onion that always has another layer. You have to resolve those layers. And it's hard because, like I said, I've known women and men who've gone through years and years of therapy, and it's still actively affecting their choices in their life and who's coming in their life. So what we can do is work from a metaphysical point of view, because as above, so below. Let's work from the spiritual point so we can resolve it. And then we'll see the trickling effect of how it will come in manifestation and resolving it here on earth. Okay?
Okay.
So email me.
So what email are you?
Delgado. You can do Delgado. D is in Derek. E is an elephant. L is in Larry. G is in God. A is in Apple. D is in dog. D is in dog. E is in elephant. S is in Sam. S is in Sam at gmail.com. Okay.
Oh, the old mail. Email.
Yeah.
One you usually use. Okay.
Yeah, do that one because I'll look at.
I'll just put contract.
Yeah. You need that. Yeah, you need to resolve. You need some spiritual, metaphysical. Because now you're in the home court advantage as a feminine, so you'll have the tools. These are tools that are given to us because we're in home court. Just like if you're playing at the Giants stadium, you're a Giants fan. Everything's Giants. All the Giants fans are supportive. Everybody's jumping up and down. Everybody's friends with the Giants. But God forbid you're a Green Bay Packer in the midst of a whole bunch of Giants. You getting eaten up alive, right? That's where we were before in the patriarchy.
Right.
So you just sit down and listen because you don't want to be pummeled. Now we're in home court advantage. So you have the support. You have every tool necessary to heal yourself from that trauma. I guarantee you. I'm 1,000% in that. I wasn't before, but I'm 1,000%. So anything you need right now to heal and resolve this, you can do right now. So deal with the contract.
Okay.
Also, start to, I would even, if you get moments in time, go through some hypnotic therapy to maybe unravel some things that you don't even know still exist. Let's do that a little bit to try to get rid of that. Or if you don't want to do that because you feel like that's a little hokey pokey, some of my girlfriends don't want to do it. They don't want people poking in their subconscious.
No, I'm with everything.
You okay? Okay.
It's just getting in contact with someone who can do it that I trust.
Absolutely, absolutely, and get
I'm with it.
And get a female. Okay. I don't say that males don't do a good job. I'm just saying when you're traumatized by males, that stamp is there. So you may not want to reveal to a male.
Might have like a block.
Yeah, you may not want to reveal. Even your subconscious is like, no, we ain't telling them our business. That's what the subconscious will do. So get a female that you trust, preferably a woman that's older, because we tend to be more comfortable talking and less judged by women that are more senior to us. Okay. And tell me how that goes. But
Okay.
make sure you email me tonight so I can send you the
I'll
contract.
email you.
All right.
It'll be a little late though. It'll be late. You might have it in the
I-
morning because I'm at work.
That's
I won't have
no,
time
that's
to sit
okay.
down.
I know it's you. I'll just send it. It's not a big deal. But you'll be fine. And the damage that you're seeing in people are just things that you need to resolve about self. So rather than go through the outside, let's start to work through the inside, and you won't get any more of those damaged people. Okay, or less of them. Okay.
Well, I'm okay with it. I try to, comfort and understand because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's not going to judge them because that's what happened
Absolutely.
to them. It wasn't as traumatic, but it was enough.
But it can take up your time on Earth. You don't want to waste time fixing other people when it just.
Oh, well, I'm going to do the contract.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Because I don't need the children to keep having that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you want to make sure your womb is clear and the babies are clear from that. Because if you clear yourself, your offspring should be okay. Okay. So.
What about my relatives that are not my
It'll
offspring?
trickle. It'll trickle. What happens is the 100 monkey syndrome.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. What happens? You heal yourself. You only need one person usually in a bloodline to heal it. That's why the awakened ones, you don't need a whole bunch of people in a family to clear something. You just need one. Okay? So you'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, Mama?
Thank you, Slubburn. I appreciate you, family. I'll holler at you soon.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Okay, we're going to take the next call at 317-3070. We're on the line with Florbrone. Peace, family.
Hi.
Peace.
Hey.
Hey.
Flower, peace, happiness, love.
Thank you.
Hi.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm so glad you had answered again, so this is awesome. Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you about the visions I've been getting.
Yes.
Pretty much, it was like months before the New Year's had started, and I guess I started at the beginning. But I saw you and your relationship that you had with the Nazi, and
I'm sorry.
I saw how it kind of went down.
Yeah.
I guess I can say, like, because you had to know the answer, like where was his life going and where your path was going.
Yes.
And it just didn't match up.
Yes.
So I've been getting things like that.
Good.
I've also been getting the rainbow, the rainbow smoke. I've been getting that. So I've been getting the information from that because I saw everything happening at once, like all of the all of the visions, or what everybody would say, premonitions through dreams.
Yes.
So I've been having a lot of experience with that. But one thing that I've been looking at and really asking myself is that this one dream that I had, and it was like a blue being while this music, it was like a African music, and I don't know what it was called, but I was having my dream, and right when I was dreaming, the blue being had came and woke me up out of my dream, and because I was in my room, and as I was listening while I had my eyes closed, it basically tapped me, pulled me all the way to the next window, and was like, okay, you're not from Africa, you're from here.
Yes. Fire beyond. Speak.
Yes. So everything that has been happening has been leading into different things. But another thing that has me connected to you for sure is definitely when the rainbow mist was happening. I saw yours first because what's his name? That guy.
Oh, German. Rudolph of Germany. Rudolph of Germany.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. For some reason, I had saw him come through and was definitely warning you
Yes, he
about what was happening. You had got stronger from it, even though it was kind of scary.
I did.
Right after that had happened, it was happening to me, and
yes.
like
yes.
I was in my room. I went back in my room, and as I was backing out, the mist was coming, and it was like black things was like evaporating.
Yes. Ooh.
I guess you could say that was like the darkness of demons and the beings that are not supposed to be around at this moment.
Yes.
But yes. So everything that has been happening, I've been getting a lot of it coming through, even though me being 26 at this moment, and being able to tune into myself has been a lot hard because emotions and things.
Yeah.
So, but I've just been getting them through. So, I mean, the dream that I was wanting to ask about was the blue being. Like, what was that supposed to be for me? Like, because I've been getting a lot of them, and ever since I've been listening to the Blog Talk Radio and you being on there, and I'll just be like, oh, I wish I could talk and I wish I could tell, because there's a lot of things have been happening to me, a lot, and it's just been over and over happening, like it's amping up and everything.
Yes. Well, the blue being I love that someone said a blue to avian on here. I personally don't think it's a blue avian, but you're not wrong that it could be. I personally think because I have to talk to you a little longer to get more of a synopsis, but I personally think that that's an Arcturian with the musical aspect of it. And also I personally know that I think it's Arcturian based. Arcturians usually come with a blue field, and also they come with the musical or the artistic element. They'll come with arts, and they'll come with toning and sound frequency, light and sound frequency. They usually come with that. They come with robust colors, sound frequency, and so on. Now, someone said blue avian. I can't rule it out, but blue avians generally don't interface with us. They just don't. Not in this realm. Not in this time frame.
No, they don't. They just do it through telepathically, or not even really talking at all. Just showing.
Yeah, Arcturians tend to do that. Yeah. And I personally think that was you. I don't think it was an outer being. I think it's a future aspect of you or a past aspect of you. I think it's you talking to you and their other body and your other avatar. It's you guiding yourself and your other avatar.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's all. We guide ourselves. We always want to give credit. This is where we have to stop. That Christianity, those religions have made everything seem so phantasmic outside of ourselves. It's you. It's you. It's an aspect of you. Remember, time doesn't exist. Past, future, and present. Past, present, and future all overlap. They're all happening simultaneously. So an aspect of you, who is actually that being, is talking to its ancestor, who is another being, who is the same being, same lineage, same soul imprint, but it's a different avatar. So it's you talking to you, guiding you. And listen to it.
Okay. So it's like different reflections of me just coming.
Yes. You'll get that in more ways than one.
Different form.
Absolutely. You'll get that in a lot of ways. You'll get it. Ooh, you're giving me. Ooh. Okay. Oh, wow. Now I don't get it often. It's weird. I got like a tingle up my back for this one. That was a Kundalini rise. Now, is it that I'm so correct, or is that you? That's an aspect of you interacting with my auric field. That's interesting. I know it's Arcturian now. It's Arcturian. an aspect of you. And actually start working. I don't know if you work with your hands. What did they say? Your feet. What do you do? So you do something with feet and hands? You do something odd with your feet or hands? Or you do something with people's feet and hands? What do? You dance? Or you do
Yes, I love to dance. I love to sing, play my guitar.
Taurian!
I love writing.
Taurian there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, my lights flickered.
Theatrical things.
Yeah, my lights flickered. Okay. That's you. Okay. I got it up my Kundalini. Yeah, it's you. That's all you. That's you. Probably you're fielded from that being that's you. You are interacting with yourself. That's your ancestor or your future ancestor, or vice versa. It's one and the same. Keep doing what you're doing. Whatever you're doing is allowing your visions are connected to you being in your raw form. So whatever you're doing in your raw form, it's dancing, art, singing, your avatar, your beings, your galactic connection, your Cosmo family, they love that. Because what it does is allows for more receptivity to communication, telecommunication from them. You become more receptive to that type of communication based on the fact that you're living raw. You're in that zone where they can communicate with you. Keep doing what you do. They like what you're doing. Whatever you're doing is allowing for these abilities to show up more because you are being in your true and highest form. Keep doing it. Enjoy it. And engross yourself in it.
Really loving. I'm loving on it a lot, and I really do appreciate myself and connecting with other people that are like myself. And I really do love connecting with you. And yes, we're all not alone, and definitely connected innerly and outwardly. So
there's something gonna happen to you. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say it online. You don't have anybody else listening to this that knows this is you, right? I'm gonna say something to you.
Yes, this is just me.
Okay, so I don't know if you're gonna have a baby or you have a baby or there's a baby around you, but whatever you do dance-wise is going to be, you either open a studio or you do something because you have a baby. It's when you have that baby, I see you with the baby in your lap with her, it's a her, I think it's a her, with her little feet, and you're doing something, but I feel like you're doing it because it's something you're gonna do for a class, or she's in a class. Whatever it is a little baby, and she's not that far away. So I don't know if you're pregnant or you're thinking about children. You might be too young, but there's a baby. I feel it. She's already present. So just take that as you will. You don't have to say too much. I don't know if people are listening on the... Okay.
Yes.
You understand?
Definitely.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Thank you, C-Star.
Alrighty, is there any way that I can connect with you more, or?
Yeah, just you gotta email me. Listen, my email is out of control. My email's out of control. You can contact me if you're on Cypher. It's easier, but you can contact me at Delgaddess. It's DELGADDESS@gmail.com. You can do that if you like. I'm D's and Derek. You can do that.
Yeah, I tried to get on.
I know. Did you try to get on Cypher?
I tried to get on Cypher, so I don't know if you guys had accepted me yet, but definitely I'll try to get back on there and see.
It's easier to interact because even if you can't interact with me for assistance or guidance, our sea stars and sun stars are magical on that page. They're just beautiful, and they're so they're you know what I mean. So a lot of times what it is it's a support system because we share a lot of intel, but there's some of the most wonderful sharing, most nurturing sea stars and sun stars on that page, and it's very important for you to interact with those who are very similar minded and would be less judgmental. So you can do that, okay? And you can find you have
a wonderful night.
Thank you, and I look forward to seeing what's going to happen in the future, Sea Star.
For sure. And what else did you say? I'm so sorry about that.
I think that, I look forward to seeing what's going to happen in the future. What I said earlier is very relative because I'm just that type of person. But what's interesting is that it'll be interesting to see how that pans out, because there's a class that you do. It's something you do based on this little being that's created. And it's beautiful. I support it. Yeah, I support it. It's and again, I can't say what it is. I just see it and feel it. So I know it's something to do with that. So I'm wondering what that is. Anyway, I'm sure you'll share with me at the time. Not now.
Yes, I will definitely share with you guys, and definitely, hopefully, you'll be able to remember me on Cypher. Charma Orchard Song, or Charma Orchard Song, yeah, okay. For sure.
Okay, I'll remember Orchard. I'll remember that aspect. I'll remember that. All right, Sea Star. Well, it's nice talking to you. Okay. Yes. Peace.
Nice talking to you too.
Likewise, peace. Okay, so I'll go into the next caller. Let's go. I think I skipped over. I'm sorry if I skipped over you. Where's Wade? Did Wade 13 call back in? Wade 13, are you calling back in? I don't see your number. Oh, I think this is you. 412-0999. I don't know if that's you, Wade 13. Is that you? 412-0999?
No, sis.
What up?
Hello?
Peace.
What up? This is Chrissy.
Hey, Chrissy. What's good? What's good?
You should know my number by now.
I know. I listen. I'm like too sick of time.
I didn't mean to press the one button. I was holding the thing on my chin.
Were you there? What's going on, Chrissy?
I'm sorry.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing ain't going on. Nothing. I didn't mean to push the button. I didn't want to.
What?
Because it's like I call every week. I know everybody.
No, you good. You good. What did you experience anything with the Lionsgate yet? Did you feel the patriarchy going down on the lunar eclipse? Anything happened strange?
Man, I done got disconnected from. Because remember you was talking about if you don't pay attention to that whisper, you gonna get a knock. And if you don't pay attention to the knock, you gonna get your door kicked in.
Word.
Man, that happened to me 3 times.
Oh no. I'm sorry. 3 times.
That happened to me, and I didn't realize it at the time that 3 people that I was talking to, but I wasn't like. We was just talking. Well, one I was intimate with, those 3 guys. Mm-hmm. And they basically been how can I say this? It's like they was basically, you know what I'm saying, I fell out with them. It's like they was deleted out my life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's good. It's good though, right?
I just been more focused. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's good, though, that they're deleted.
Yeah, it is. Because I've been sitting here reflecting to myself about, is this something I'm doing and something wrong with me? And then as I was thinking about them, I'm like, it was never me, it was them. And what you were saying to the one girl earlier, to be careful because sometimes people be around you to feed off of you. And I feel as though that's what they were trying to do.
Yes.
Just feed off of me because of my energy. Remember what Alexis had said? I'm like high strong, and some people are like drawn to me, but then some people envy me because of my energy.
Yeah.
I'm not a mean person. I'm not a mean-spirited person at all. If I can help someone, in which I done did like a lot in my life, help someone, I will help them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But when you get on my bad side, that's when I pop off.
Yeah, I understand. Yes, I understand. And I think sometimes what it is, it could be a combination.
Good, I'm sorry.
It could be a combination of 2 things. Usually what it is that sometimes, aspects that, like I said, are unresolved, or people who come in our lives are meant to teach us something. But when they're done teaching you, then it's time then they usually excommunicate themselves. They either do something so outlandish that you have to get rid of them, or they just kindly walk out stage left. Mm-hmm. And we have to be okay with that. Now, I wasn't always like that. There was a time where I didn't accept that. Like, I would try to work on it to the point where I would literally lose my mind. Work on things that were not good, that weren't.
That's what I was going through.
Yeah.
I was feeling that I wanted to try to work on it, work things out, but it's like something in me told me, let it go.
Yeah, you have to. Because if it's
Just
for you,
let it go.
if it's for you, it won't leave. It'll stay. Whatever's for you will stay. It'll haunt you. It'll stay around. It'll linger. That's when you're meant to engage and actually learn or go through or interact with people that are for you. If something is leaving or creating so much strife that you have to make it leave, or it's making you feel so uncomfortable, that's a sign that it's got to go. And like I said, I'm not one beyond this. I've had whispers, knocks, and kicks on doors, basically telling me it's time. And I would ignore it to the point where it got me sick. It got me sick. It got me hurt. It brought me heartache. It brought me pain. And eventually, I had to say, you know, like the Christians say. I used to hear this young lady say this to me all the time, and I used to think she was corny, but now I realized it was valid. She used to say to me, let go and let God. And she used to say it to me sometimes when I would just perseverate or I think about something too long and stress on it. And I used to think she was so corny because she was like this diehard Christian. She was such a sweetheart, though. But I realized it was a very relevant statement, and it was applicable to everything in everybody's lives. Let go and let God ask. Let it go. Let go of the thought that you can control it. Sometimes we have to take that leap of, I don't want to say faith, but sometimes we have to let go of things and just know it's going to be all good at the end of the day, especially if it's something causing us strife, and especially if it's a diabolical, low feel male. He doesn't deserve to be in your life. Let him learn his lesson on his own.
Yeah. Because also, I have two, I'm not going to say exactly where they stand at in my family, but two family members, and one mainly been sending me through stuff since I've been born. And another one came after I was born. Mm-hmm. And they both, I was told this a long time ago by a psychic, that there was going to be basically two females that's going to betray
yes, betray
they
you.
was going to do me wrong because they have an issue with me. Now, from when I was born, I don't understand. Well, I didn't understand, but now I understand it since there was like a previous death in the family. Mm-hmm. And I since the last day portal on the 8th, I've been having vivid dreams on a bunch of things. Good. And it brought a perspective and an understanding of what was going on and why. Basically, it's like this. I came back to Pittsburgh to help one of those people in my family. But now I'm ready to go. Yeah. I'm ready to go. I don't even want to be up here no more. I got relatives down there where you're located at that already told me whenever I'm ready, their door is open. They was waiting for me for the conference, but I wasn't able to do it because of multiple things that could start happening. Yeah. It was like I was being blocked from coming. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But make a long story short, I'm just ready to go. Even my kids are ready to go. Okay. And stuff. That's time. That's why you had to. No, well, that's why you released your. That's why you had to release things, because you basically getting your stuff. You're releasing. You're purging so you can leave. So you can leave free and clear. Leave. Don't wait around for anyone. I feel no guilty conscience about this decision now. Before I was like, I can't do it because they need me. But now I'm just like, you know what? Muck you. I'm out. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm going to go do me, live my life, and get myself on track, on a higher vibration, and keep rising to where I need to be. And I just don't want to be bothered with all this negativity, because where I live at up here in Pittsburgh, I call it the demonic dimension. Oh. It's demonic up here. Oh. It's crazy. I can't stand it up here. Okay. Like, things always go left. I mean, and be upside down and stuff. But when I'm not here and I'm out of state, everything goes cool for me. Everything be copacetic for me. You're not matching it. You're not. When I come back here, I have the most issues. Yeah. And I'm born and raised here, and I don't get that either.
That doesn't.
And I also need that contract. I need to sand some stuff off.
You okay?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean,
It's just so much. I've just been, like I said before, I've been fighting all my life. I came out fighting. You know what I'm saying? I was born July 31st. I was 8 pounds 2 ounces. I was a big baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the second child of my mother's.
Yeah.
And I was born by my mother's birth. And I just been through so much stuff, and it's just ridiculous, and I'm just tired of it. But I know when I leave here, I feel like a weight's lifted, and I feel more freer when I'm not here in this raggedy city.
Okay, you spoke that into existence. Now it's time to leave. Environments, it doesn't matter if we grow up somewhere or not. When we don't match the frequency of the environment or the vibration, it will be an adversity to us. So if you feeling that the environment is hampering your frequency, your happiness, keeping you tethered, that's already the kick. The kick would be something terrible happening worse to make you force you to leave. You getting the knock. You already got knocks and whispers.
I think something's about to happen. Something
then you need
is brewing. If I don't get out of
here, bounce. Bounce. Do what you got to do. You got people who have open arms and open doors.
The reason why I didn't leave right away is because my financial situation ain't more stable.
It will be. It will be. It will be. It will be. Finances, remember, you will always have what you need at the time you need it. We're in home court advantage. You will have what you need at the time you need it. You don't. I have some of the sea stars, especially when they do consultations with me. I have them go to the brink of broke. Listen to me, the brink of broke. And then they get to the doorway and they're like, oh my God, all of a sudden a check is sent in the mail. All of a sudden somebody offers a place. All of a sudden someone offers some sort of abundance. Abundance comes in all various ways, not only fiat, but in opportunities and in out of I don't want to use blessings, not blessings, blessings. Okay, people giving something to you, or offering something to you. So it will come, but you gotta take that leap though. You could get froggy. It's real New York. Get froggy. Take a leap, because your environment is already telling you it's toxic, and you're already getting the preamp. You're already getting the psychic, the impressions in your head that something traumatic will happen if you stay. Follow that knock and leave before you get the kick, because the kick is when there's nothing, you're being forced into something that you wouldn't have chosen. Take a choice. Now you have a choice, leave. And know that you will have everything. I guarantee you, Christy, wherever you go, you're going to have an opportunity. Something will happen. Money will come. Resources will be there. You'll have all that you need at the time you need it. Know it, own it, and do it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
Good.
I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I like being down south. I don't like